This is just an easy escape from technical mount. Because a lot of people get into this situation often. They're here, they try to frame, and as you hip escape, your opponent goes to a technical mount. And then you start to get real involved and lost in this position, focusing on what's immediately in front of you. And then you start to invent a whole bunch of different techniques. The reality is that this isn't as much as a problem as it seems like. The problem is everything else. Because when I try to insist on my hip escape from here, what you'll notice is that I'll be able to keep this away, but when I move, I'm just moving the rest of my opponent with me. Okay? So the problem here isn't the fact that my hip escape isn't working, it's that I'm doing the right thing, but I'm in the wrong zip code. So I'm gonna make my frame onto my opponent's hip, and I'm just gonna switch my hip escape towards the opposite side here like this, in order to create that space. Because you can't possibly hold me with just this hamstring alone. And now I've got all this space to come out and start to get back into a guard game and go again. So again, when I do my frame and hip escape from mount, it would be most appropriate to say the frame keeps what you're framing from following you. So if I make the frame down here and I go and he goes to technical mount, the frame and the hip escape worked fine. This didn't follow me, but everything else did. So I want to make my frame as close towards his center line as I can. I want to make that frame down here. I don't want to switch and go all the way over there, because then he just comes back to the other side and we're going back and forth and I'm losing everything. I need to make that frame here so that he has to go in a larger circle in order to come around. He can't go straight to the side, but he has to clear my frame when he goes. So I make my frame here, my feet go to the floor, I'm driving my hips up as he's trying to escape, and now I can start to come out and attack. Once more. Again, this would be easiest done if instead of doing here, I just make my frame down here by my opponent's hip. So I can start the hip escape, and when he shifts to technical mount, I just switch straight back out towards the other side. I frame most of my opponent. He now has to hold me with his legs instead of the opposite. And now I'm out, and I can start to use my imagination as to whichever technique I want to start to go into from guard.